Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I think this session, I'm going to divide it into two parts. And the first part, we're going to do a short meditation. I would like to finish the next two objects. One is a neutral person, and the other is a difficult person. Okay, so prepare yourselves. Now, ready? Okay. Now, let us begin by settling into a comfortable sitting position. Rest your hands naturally on your thighs or wherever you like. Gently close your eyes or lower your gaze. Take 3 deep breaths. With each breath, allow the body to soften and begin to settle. Now gently scan through the body, tailbone and buttocks, lower back and abdomen, chest and upper back, shoulder and neck, face and head, arms and hands, legs and feet. For each area, simply notice just this present ease, comfort and quiet well-being. For a few moments, simply sense what this feels like. A heart free from hostility, free from ill will, and completely at ease. Cool and calm, still and serene, gentle and friendly, feel and at ease. Notice how light and at ease the heart feels when hostility is absent. Allow yourself to gently taste this quality of goodwill. Now let's begin with the practice of loving kindness towards ourselves. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from hostility. May I be free from hostility. May I be free from distress and suffering. May I be free from distress and suffering. May I may I continue to dwell in happiness. May I continue to dwell in happiness. Having established goodwill and loving kindness towards ourselves, we now would like to move on to a neutral person. Bring to mind someone towards whom you feel neither particular liking nor dislike. Perhaps someone you pass regularly, a neighbor, a shop assistant, a colleague, or someone you have met but do not know well. But here, do remember the opposite sex caution. We do not focus exclusively on the opposite sex in metta practice, as this may give rise to sensual attachment rather than pure goodwill. We also avoid using deceased persons as primary meditation objects in the beginning, as this does not support the development of stable concentration. So now, allow this person to come gently into your awareness. Gently reflect on whatever is wholesome or admirable about this person. Perhaps they work diligently, care for their family, show kindness to others, or simply share the same human wish to live peacefully and happily. Allow the mind to rest on these wholesome impressions of this person. As goodwill begins to arise, simply keep in mind 3 steps. Perceive, abide, and re-establish. Perceive this person as free from hostility, free from ill will, free from suffering, and dwelling in happiness. Abide with the perception of this person dwelling in that peaceful and wholesome state. Allow the heart to dwell in this wholesome perception rather than merely repeating the word. Whenever the perception begins to fade, gently return to the sentence and re-establish it. When you feel ready, choose the sentence that most naturally resonates with your heart and allow it to become the focus of your practice. Now begin the 4 sentences and continue holding this person gently in your awareness. May you be free from hostility. May you be free from hostility. As you repeat the sentence, gently perceive this person as free from hostility. Remain with that wholesome perception. Whenever it begins to fade, gently return to the sentence and re-establish it. Free from ill will and the wish to harm. May you be free from ill will and the wish to harm. As you repeat the sentence, gently perceive this person as free from ill will and any wish to harm. Remain with that wholesome perception. Whenever it begins to fade, gently return to the sentence and re-establish. May you be free from distress and suffering. May you be free from distress and suffering. As you repeat the sentence, gently perceive this person as free from distress and suffering. Remain with that wholesome perception. Whenever it begins to fade, gently return to the sentence and re-establish it. May you dwell in happiness. May you dwell in happiness. As you repeat the sentence, gently perceive this person as dwelling in happiness. Remain with that wholesome perception. Whenever it begins to fade, gently return to the sentence and re-establish. having cultivated goodwill towards ourselves, a respected person, and a neutral person, we now gently extend the same goodwill towards someone whom we find difficult. Choose someone who is mildly difficult or unpleasant, but not someone associated with deep trauma or overwhelming emotional pain. We are not trying to excuse harmful actions, nor are we denying the importance of wisdom and healthy boundaries. Rather, for the purpose of this practice, we are gently releasing hostility and the wish to harm from within our own heart. Now bring this person gently into awareness. If resistance arises, simply acknowledge it with kindness. There is no need to struggle with it. If goodwill does not arise easily, gently look for even one wholesome or human quality. Perhaps this person has shown kindness to someone. Perhaps they care for their family. Perhaps they have acted generously at some point. Or simply recognize that, like all beings, they wish to be happy and do not wish to suffer. Allow our heart to rest on this understanding. Do not force metta. Simply allow goodwill to develop naturally, little by little. As goodwill begins to rise, simply keep in mind 3 steps: perceive, abide, and re-establish, and continue exactly as you practiced with the respected person and the neutral person. Gently open your eyes and you can have your feet, your thumbs, and massage your arms and head. Okay. So we have preserved a quarter of an hour for our continued Sutta reading. Right. So I shall begin with two little stories to illustrate the power of metta. Now, does anyone know Devadatta? Has anyone heard of his story? Devadatta, yes. He is the um, mm, nephew of the Buddha. Yeah. And because he wanted to take over the Sangha, he wants to become the leader. So he thought of a plan. To um, he wanted to kill the Buddha, and he knows that there is an elephant, very strong and fierce elephant called Naragiri, and he thought of a plan releasing Naragiri to kill the Buddha. So he talked about his plot to those people in charge of this Naragiri and other elephants. He talked to them about the plot and reassured them of the wealth and race of the positions. And then they intoxicated Naragiri and released him onto the street. So everybody was running for their lives, but the Buddha wasn't afraid at all. They warned the Buddha not to go on that path, not to go on that route. Naragiri has been released to come and get you, but the Buddha wasn't afraid at all. He stood there and very calmly remembered the 11 advantages of metta bhavana. When you enter samadhi, you will not be harmed by any weapons, any poison, and all those external forces. You will end your life naturally because your life has come to an end. All those natural reasons, but you won't be harmed. So as soon as the Buddha radiated loving kindness toward Naragiri, he immediately softened and he bowed down to the Buddha and wouldn't harm him at all. So just like the background story that I told you yesterday, like the three devas, they also bow down to those monks and bowed really affectionate towards the one who sends them loving. So this is one of the stories that illustrates the power of metta bhavana. Then another one, this is a very true story. The Buddha story is very true as well, but it's an ancient story. And this is a modern day story told by our venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi. There was a German monk who lived in Sri Lanka. You know the story, yes. Yes, who lived in Sri Lanka, and he is very diligent practitioner of meditation, and he lives in a cave. So one day when he was practicing meditation, guess what? A bear came. Where could he have escaped but to wade inside? So what did he do? Obviously, the bear is very, very hungry, and he thinks of, wow, I've got my lunch sorted. So he was strolling, and the monk did what? He chanted metta. He couldn't have done anything else other than just having faith in what he's learned from the Buddha. He chanted Metta Sutta, and the bear immediately softened, and he listened affectionately. And well, I added this, of course, his bubble, his thinking. He felt the affection, he felt the loving kindness from the monk, and obviously that will inspire him to feel loving kindness towards others, towards the monk in front of him, and towards others as well. So he didn't harm the monk at all. He just simply left and still feeling metta. So this is the power of metta. Now we want to we're sharing this story because I'm sharing this story because we will be talking about not being afraid of dangers or not fear for your body or discomfort when you are practicing on the path. So we will continue what we did yesterday. We were talking about all those virtues, the 14 virtues, the 14 karaniyas, and the one agaraniya. The 14 ought to be done, and the 15 what is not to be done. So to quickly recap, it involves the goal, and the core qualities. So the intent, one needs to to identify what is truly beneficial, one needs to be skilled at it, and also one needs to be capable, upright, and perfectly upright. One needs to be amenable to advice, and gentle and kind, approachable, mudu, and free from conceit, not feeling superior, anatimani. And in terms of the way of life, one needs to abide by simplicity, contented with little, and easy to support. And one needs to remain focused with few duties and frugal way of life, and also exercise wise restraint, having peaceful faculties, judicious and prudent, courteous and not forward, not impudent, and unattached to families and kin. Kulesu anandagito, that's kulesu. Kula means family. Esu is locative. Okay. And not even do the slightest wrong. Not even have the smallest, a quick recap of yesterday's material. Now today, we are going to focus simply on three virtues. The first one, supple, capable. One needs to cultivate deep commitment, unconcerned with body and life. So that is illustrated by the story of the German monk just now. Even if you may face danger, like meditating in a cave, you know you have faith in your practice, and you radiate loving kindness in face of danger. Perhaps if you have attained jhana, you can enter into jhana and then just enjoy the benefit of not being harmed by external forces. And you also need to be skilled and energetic, competent in meditation and all duties. We'll go into more detail later. And discovering determination in disregarding bodily discomfort. Well, obviously, when we cultivate our metta bhavana, the first thing was suffers are our legs, maybe our back. Yeah, and some people may feel tight on their shoulders if their position is not correct. So we need to find ways around that instead of just giving up straight away. Okay, so that's a very brief view, but actually Stockholm is something far more than just this. Stockholm. Okay. Now, Stockholm actually means building the inner capacity for the path. In the Metta Sutta, the opening word Stockholm, first virtue Stockholm, is the inner capacity to practice the Dharma wholeheartedly, no matter what the task is, no matter what the challenge would be. So what the commentary tells us is a monk should be endowed with the second and fourth factors of striving. I will go into that later. Unconcerned with body and life. That doesn't mean you foolishly just, sacrifice your life without thinking of measures to counter or to work your way out of those dangers. You need to be mindful of the dangers forthcoming. But you shouldn't be so concerned about the discomfort or you may lose your life and then give up easily. You first of all find a way around it. So capable of striving for the penetration of the truth, unconcerned with body and life, being able, skilled, and not lazy, and competent in whatever duties, high or low. That is very, very important. We'll go into that detail later. All duties to be done. We need to be competent. Now, there is actually a very, very good example. Now, think of a search and rescue dog. When the policemen want to train one, first of all, they need to look for a dog with a certain quality. So how do they train them? They get all dogs all over and they test them. They throw frisbees at them and get the dog to retrieve the frisbee. If they throw the frisbee once, okay, the dog gets it back happily. You give it a reward. Twice, fine. 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. If the dog gets tired, frustrated, and bored, and not willing to cooperate anymore, he doesn't care about your reward. He simply is tired. He doesn't want to cooperate anymore. Then that is not the dog the policeman wants. So what kind of dog will be left? The suckle ones. Those who will stay focused, eager, and unwavering. Throw the frisbee 1,000 times, it keeps showing up without showing any impatience. Always energetic, always cooperative, always feeling willing and not drawing back. This is suckle, the capacity to keep showing up again and again with wholehearted mind that doesn't give up. This is suckle. So what the commentary says about there is a this bit that the commentary tells us a monk who is unconcerned with body and life, able, skilled, and not lazy, competent in kasina preparations and observances, repairing bow and ropes, and undertake all duties, high or low, for companions in the holy life, and all such other such matters. So what does it mean by kasina preparations and observances? That is the preliminary work in order to prepare for kasina meditation subject. What does it involve then? Finding that into a proper disc and water, cloth, or other materials. And they need to constructing the kasina disc to the proper size and color and placing it on a suitable location and preparing the meditation environment. All looks very tedious and complicated, but a practitioner who is he would diligently just do in order to complete the task. And the observances, the Vata, he faithfully carries out the discipline, using the kasina correctly and maintaining consistency in one's meditation routine. So being disciplined, just like that dog, this one, and following the traditional instructions without becoming careless, their own method. Simply just follow what the Buddha has taught, has passed down, without adding anything in. Because when we try to be clever, we are diverging, we are going astray ourselves. We are actually putting obstacles in front of ourselves. That's being conceited. That's not being disciplined. That's not following rules properly. So, and also one persists through the repetitive stages until concentration mature. Okay, this perseverance, persistence is very, very important. And never be tired of repetition. That is extremely important and essential when one practices samadhi. In order to get that, in order to attain samadhi, one needs to be tirelessly, perseveringly, persisting in working on, concentrating on the object. If we always feel drowsy, we try and find out what is making us drowsy, what is the method of helping us getting out of that obstacle. So you find your ways around it rather than just simply giving up. So in someone who is willing to do all the unglamorous work that meditation requires. Now, some people may think, oh, I want to do meditation. I don't want to do all the chores. I don't want to look after other people. I only want to focus on my own practice. That is not right, because a mind that is suitable to do meditation has to be one that is patient, that is kind and caring. If a mind is completely selfish and so very self-centered, that mind is tainted. It's full of defilements, full of self-centeredness, selfishness. That is not pure mind. Only when our mind is purer and purer can you notice progress. So do not just think that we can make progress simply by sitting on the cushion for a very long time and without caring for anything else in the world. That is not the right way to go forward. We need to remember that gentle is humble and is caring, is loving and kind. That is the character that is required to attain jhana. So even the glamorous work, as long as it is supporting the meditation, you need to pay attention to that and not in the preparation, and stay disciplined in the routine that support the success. So Sakul is steadfast commitment, unconcerned with discomfort, fatigue, and even danger, and also diligent in practice, willing to undertake preparations, simple, repetitive, and even tedious tasks. Order and care, maintaining robes and bowl with care. Now, these are, of course, just representative things. You need to maintain your life, supporting a life of simplicity and mindfulness, and service with humility, ready to do whatever is needed for fellow practitioners. great or small, seen or unseen. And the final two, not lazy but energetic, bringing energy, initiative, and following through to every wholesome task. And skilled and competent, do what is to be done. Wisely and well, the mark of a dependable practitioner. Okay, we have overrun by 4 minutes. So, right, we will do the Patidana Gatha in the evening. Okay.
All right.